It's cold. 1.9 degrees, actually 2 degrees now. Freezing. Anyway, January sowing. January is a really difficult one, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. The minute the 1st of January arrives, I just want one thing: rush in the greenhouse and get sowing. But we shouldn't. And we all know that. I'll have to be really honest with you. It's actually the 30th of December. Obviously, the video will be out on the 31st of December. So I think you know that it's not exactly January yet. So that means that I will not really be sowing anything today. I'm just going to be showing you what I'm planning to sow. Right. Let's get this first one out the window straight away. Chilies and pepper. I will not be doing them until February. You could sow them in January. In fact, you could start sowing your tomatoes as well, probably later in January, but you could start your tomatoes in January. You should probably start your really hot chilies, and this has been mentioned on the live that we've done with Mags, Sandra, and Eli and Kit at the weekend there. So I'll link somewhere the video for you to see, and it will be in the description as well. So we've done a live at the weekend. We had a wee catch up, and it's been mentioned. I believe it's Eli that mentioned this, and it's something that I never actually realized. Um, the hotter your pepper, and the longer it will take for the growth. So obviously, the earlier you want to sow them. We're in Scotland. There's hardly as sunny as anything out there, but obviously it's covered in frost just now. So there's hardly any sun. It's freezing, as I've mentioned many times already in this video. So it's a bad idea to start them in the greenhouse, definitely. But if you have space inside, potentially you could get them started. Would I get them started? Probably not. But then again, I'm not doing any really hot chilies. But I will be doing, and I did say I wasn't going to do any. Then Eli kindly offered me a trade for the spaghetti squash for some King of the North, some of our very own King of the North, sweet pepper. So I'm definitely going to do some. But I will be waiting until a bit later in February to start them. But you could potentially start them just now, as long as you do them inside. You do them with a heat mat, with lights and everything, you will be fine. Something that you can absolutely start now, and you can absolutely do that in the greenhouse, is onions. As you can see, if you've been watching the video a few days ago, where I'm doing my Boxing Day sowing, I didn't have the Bedfordshire Champion. Well, there they are. I will be sowing those ones very soon. It's still close enough to Boxing Day, but you can absolutely sow those ones right through January and right through most of February. If you're later than that, I would probably suggest to delay until mid-March and sow them directly outside. And another one fairly similar, another allium that I will be doing again in January. I have done a first sowing probably about a week ago, and I've mentioned that in my December sowing. Sorry, this is the January sowing. Leeks. Leeks is another one that you can sow again right through the months of January. No problem at all. But the sooner you plant them, the sooner you'll be able to harvest them. So the one that I've sown, let's say around about mid-December, those ones will be harvested a bit sooner. I will wait another couple of weeks at this point, so mid-January, and I will be doing a second sowing, and those ones will be proper winter harvest or even early spring 2027. Something else that I will be sowing, and this was the first time last year that I've ever sown that, and I failed miserably. I'll swap about. This is goji berry. So I believe that it's fairly easy to grow. Once you grow them, they grow to big bushes, and then you can plant them, and so they stay in the ground. So this is one that I wanted to do last year, and germination was a great success. That was really quick. The only thing to keep in mind is goji berry need a bit of heat. When I'm saying a bit of heat, they need about 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. So definitely heat mat is your friend at that point. I didn't realize they do not like to dry out at all. The minute the top of the soil dried out, the plant went whoop and died. Like I couldn't get them to recover. So goji berry, I will be trying again this year, but I will make sure to be super careful on the watering. January is also a really exciting time because that's the moment where we start to sow quite a lot of flowers. February mostly, but in January we can start sowing quite a lot of flowers. And I've got a small selection in here. Most of mine will be done in February and early March, to be honest. So make sure to tune into that video if you want to find out what we will be sowing together. But this year I will be trying, and in fact, I will start with this one because I've got a confession to make. I will be doing lobelia this year. I actually have two types. I've got string of pearl and cascade mix. I have tried lobelia in the past, and I constantly fail at getting them to grow. They need a fair bit of heat for the germination. They're really easy to come on afterwards, as long as you keep on top of the watering. You know what I mentioned about the goji berry, same thing applies. But I was watching Mags, so um, My Country Garden, and she had mentioned lobelia, and I thought, oh, you know what? And I've commented saying, yeah, lobelia can be a bit tricky. You need heat, and I've never really successfully sown them. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a try again. I've got those seeds anyway. I actually have 2 packets of the string of pearl, so I thought I might as well give them a go. I've got one of them is 1,500 seed. This one is 2,000 seeds. So I've got literally 5,500 seeds to sow. So I might as well give them a go. And if they don't work, you know what? That's fine. We've tried. This next one is actually it's an open packet from last year. So I don't know if I've got a ton of seeds left. My fingers are frozen, so I don't think I'll be doing any sowing today, to be honest. Yeah, I've got quite a few seeds there, so I should be okay. Antirinum, or snapdragon, as you call them. I've got those Royal Bride, which I have sown like last year, and they were lovely. They were actually really nice. The one thing to remember when you sow your snapdragon is to make sure to not cover them. It's a bit like basil. They need the light to germinate, so do not exclude light and do not cover the seeds. You just sow them on the surface, press them down gently, and leave them to be. They will do fabulous. The next one that I will be doing this month, and I'm super excited because I just literally got those seeds from Gardener's World magazine in, well, the January edition, so last week or the week before. Delphinium, and I've done delphinium, or I've had delphinium in the past, but I always buy them, and they're actually really expensive when you buy fully formed plants, I would say. They're lovely, but you also, I don't know for you, but I don't really have any Dobbies or other garden center nearby. So it's straight away B&Q for me. And year after year is the same bluish purple. And they're nice, don't get me wrong. They're nice, but I know that there's so many nicer color. And in terms of blue in the garden, I'm not a huge fan. But I'm so super excited to do those ones this year, which are more of a red color flower. Delphinium is one that you definitely want to do round about January because they need this cold spell, which is called stratification, to germinate. And although they will need a bit of heat, they only need about 15 degrees to germinate. They will need a cold period as well. So sowing them in here on the heat mat is perfect because they will get the heat at time, but at night time when it goes below freezing in Celsius, obviously, um, they will get their cold spell and they should germinate a bit better. That being said, if they do not germinate, they usually take about 2 to 4 weeks. But if after 3 to 4 weeks you still don't have a sign of a single one of those seeds, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's 50 seeds per pack in here. So that if I sow even half of those ones, I'm expecting after 3 weeks to have at least one or two showing up. If they don't, then it probably is too mild. They've not had the cold spell that they needed. If that's the case, grab your tray and put it in the fridge for 2 to 3 weeks, and then take them out and put them back on a light source of heat, like a heat mat in an unheated greenhouse, to bring them back to about 15 degrees or so, and then they will germinate no problem. It's cold, so it should be okay, but I'm really hoping they will germinate because I don't think my wife will let me put them in the fridge in here. Right, well, sadly, I have to report that although my coffee didn't get any soil spelled in this time, which is a victory, It gone completely cold within 10-15 minutes that I've been in here. So that was a very quick video to film. But yeah, the coffee didn't make it. It's not going past the 3 degrees even with body heat in here. So very, very cold. Definitely won't be doing any sewing with you guys just now, but I will be doing all those sewings in the next couple of weeks, wrapped up like anything. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that if you watch the video today on the 31st of December, I hope you have a great Hogmanay, and I wish you all a great start to 2026 and all the best for the new growing season. But remember, it's only January. Take it easy, a step back. It's still time to prepare. There's no need to rush at all into the growing season. Winter is just starting, for us anyway. Winter is just starting, and the colder days are not even there yet, so easy.